Chapter 55. A week later, Tegasara and Ulrich were sleeping in 2 beds next to each other, side by side. A doctor with large black glasses woke them up from an artificially induced coma. They groaned and moaned in pain, but they did not feel weak.
Gentlemen, welcome back to cruel reality.
The doctor stood in an underground bunker hospital designed by the Special Police Forces. The air was thick and synthetic. The walls, boring and noise-absorbing. The doctor was used to the place, which was reminiscent of a dark morgue. Effortlessly, he presented a smile to his patients. Like a mummy awoken from a 3,000-year sleep. Ulrich was grunting. He was unsure what reality was, but he did have vague memories about it. With half-opened eyes, he glanced over to Tegasara waking in the hospital bed next to him.
Oh, no need to speak, gentlemen. Just nod if you can understand what I'm saying.
The doctor had an energetic tone and seemed to be in a rather positive mood.
I can hear you.
Ulrich said with a heavy breath. He looked over at the chief and saw him gesture with his hand that he was awake and could understand what the doctor was saying.
Well, remember today, because today's your 2nd birthday, my friends. You were almost killed by a cyber-biological attack on your brains. But do not fear. We not only cured and fixed everything, but will restore you to feel and be at full strength shortly.
The doctor was ecstatic. He was literally radiating sunshine around his body. Like a saint.
What happened?
Ulrich patiently roared, reminding the doctor of a yawning lion.
Someone hacked into Desara's brain, augmentation, and infected it with a virus that interconnected with Ulrich's brain, augmentation, and started using your own brain cells to build stuff to destroy your cells violently. Took us a freaking week to restore every single cell-coding mechanism and get rid of the virus. It started close to the motor cortex and made its way to the core, to the center of your brain. You were almost killed.
The doctor wanted to continue, but was interrupted by Ulrich.
Who?
He tried to swallow, but his throat was dry.
We do have a clue. It's likely the same guy who probably wrote Dante's Trap. We have one suspect.
The doctor revealed.
You see, it's horrible. Whoever made that thing needs to pay for his crimes and sins. He has hurt people in the most unthinkable of ways.
Ulrich had been in simulations of the Dante's Trap during his special forces training. He had not known hell before that damn thing was loaded into his skull. He called it the nastiest thing known to humankind in the modern age. Ulrich remembered being locked in his head, seeing seemingly real people in real places because it activated the brain part responsible for the sensation of reality itself. Then, it used the default brain network to create a world that couldn't be walked out of. Coroners would repeat the same thing. Walking out of the room would put you back into the same room with other people stuck there. Just like the victim trying to figure out a way of the trap. Once able to find a cue, like an element of the past or a pattern within the trap, the scene or room was slightly changed. It felt like a sweet release, as if one was getting ahead and out of it, when in fact, Dante's Trap was just readjusting the cage. If the victim became tired or full of fear, the world started to fall apart, stressing the poor mind into depressive and miserable states. The whole system locked out the attention brain compartments and kept the poor victim forever cycling in made-up rooms and places, while the brain itself got damaged, the body dehydrated and starved of nutrients. It was a nasty hell and a death sentence unless you were saved by someone. When the cyber virus first came out, it took years until people figured it out. The comatose, trapped individuals were a heavy burden for hospitals and families. Meanwhile, the victim was enduring brain-damaging hell. Myths of a new world order dominated by AI or a judge of humanity were popular among superstitious people. The military spent 1/10 of its budget to understand that thing. People donated money to organizations and bought stocks of companies promising a solution and possible financial gain from the whole situation. When the human race finally figured out how the virus worked, it disappeared like a ghost. Newer brain augmentations came with a different set of microchips, and a new, updated cyber plague was expected, but it never came. Like a bored god, the creator looked away,